Adventure Time is centered on U, a strange land from a post-apocalyptic Earth, but its lore stretches far beyond one planet. Pendleton Ward filled this universe with alien species, spacefaring civilizations, and cosmic beings that exist outside of time and space. The mostly overtly extraterrestrial presence is the Catalyst Comet, a force of destiny that flies through the cosmos once every 1,000 years, carrying the essence of great change. From these comets came figures like Orgurlorg, Gunther's true form, and even Finn's own cosmic aspect. Alongside them are primordial monsters such as the Lich, Kokon-Tepe, and other ancient entities that predate creation itself, existing before the universe emerged from nothingness. We also meet the Martians, one of the most important alien societies in the show. Mars is an advanced world ruled by powerful figures like the King of Mars, who appears in the form of Abraham Lincoln, and the four-headed protector Grob Gob Glob Grod. But beyond aliens and Martians are the truly strange beings, cosmic entities that live above mortal understanding. The Cosmic Owl, who enters prophetic dreams. Prismo, a wishmaster born from the dream of an old man. Golb, a force of pure chaos and entropy. Party God, Scarab, Orbo, Death, and Life themselves. Yet among all of these, the most mysterious figure remains unseen. Prismo's boss, an entity that may hold more power than any other being in the Adventure Time multiverse. The very first time when Prismo's boss is mentioned is in the 23rd episode of the 7th season crossover. In this episode, Prismo says that if the Lich and Farm World Finn went through with their plan to create a portal that connected them to the multiverse, then his boss would hold him responsible. Surprised, Jake asks Finn who that could be, but he receives no reply. This is the last time when we hear about him in Adventure Time. However, he is mentioned several times in Fiona and Cake. In Prismo the Wishmaster, Prismo says that if the Scarab were to report him for creating an unauthorized universe, then his boss would bring the hammer down on Prismo for it. However, the very first time when we see someone interacting with him happened in the episode Jerry, when Scarab is set free from Orbo's punishment by the boss, and the last time when we hear from him is in the finale of the first season, in the episode Cheers, where we can see that after Fiona's universe is canonized, the boss calls Scarab and has a brief unheard argument with him. Being the boss of a wishmaster like Prismo might imply that Prismo's boss is one of the most powerful characters in the franchise. Besides Prismo, other cosmic entities such as Orbo and Scarab are visibly scared while talking about the boss. The only other character who seems to be above these cosmic entities is none other than Golb. Prismo can grant any being in the multiverse one wish. In some cases, a wish requires Prismo to create an entire new reality in the multiverse in which the wisher is transported into the wish-created reality. These wishes are powerful enough to change timelines and create or destroy worlds, though unless worded very specifically, his wishes usually have an unpredictable twist. His power seems to be limitless when it comes to wish granting. However, there have been 2 instances when he was unable to perform. The first place which seems to be outside of his jurisdiction is the Citadel, since he has stated that even a wish will not grant access to the Citadel directly, and the other time when he's powerless is when the wish is related to Golb. When Magic Man made a wish to retrieve Margles from Golb, the wish was unsuccessful. Simon would later ask for a similar wish to retrieve Betty, which again resulted in failure. Golb's unimaginable power makes a lot of people think that he might be the boss of cosmic deities, which to some extent makes sense. However, when in the episode Jerry, Scarab seemed to know who the main boss was. And if Golbetty was indeed the main boss, then in episode 9 when Scarab sees Golbetty and Simon, he likely wouldn't have climbed into Simon's head. Also, if we look at the boss's phone, it has 2 wings, the angelic and demonic. We can confidently assume that his phone is specifically based on his appearance, and if we look at Golb and Golbetty, wings are nowhere to be seen, so we can confidently say that those 2 are 2 separate beings who work side by side as co-bosses of the entire universe and all realities. One of them maintaining a level of order and keeping guardians of order like Prismo and the Scarab in check, while the other maintains a level of chaos in the universe and keeps beings like the Lich in check. One of the clues can be the fact that the phone has 2 stars on the back, one white angelic wing and one demonic one. two contrasting halves on one phone, and perhaps within one boss. There are also Golb and Prismo similarities. The space/void Golb occupies is full of gray rocks, uneven and scattered throughout space, and smooth geometric shapes, while the cube that Prismo lives in is surrounded by uneven scattered rocks similar to the one Simon jumped over. And also, after she sends Simon off, we see Golb disappear and or become something else. Let's not forget the authorization of Fiona's world. While still in Golb's realm, Golb gives Simon a dandelion, embodying the protection and authorization of Fiona and Cake's reality. If Golb wasn't doing that herself, she didn't object to a being of pure order acting within her chaotic realm. While Fiona was blowing the dandelion seeds around, the same geometric shapes surrounding Golb can be seen in the sky in Fiona and Cake's world, and also, let's not forget the post-credit scene of the finale where we can see two shapes. One represents Golb, one looks like the cube Prismo lives in. They merge together into one form, a red apple with a ribbon around it which resembles Golb, and the ribbon she wears around her neck. But still, Prismo's boss is a separate entity who rules the realm alongside Golb. Who could he possibly be? Golb makes his real debut in the episode of Come Along With Me. In that episode, Princess Bubblegum and Aunt Holly agree on the peace terms, and PB proclaims that the two kingdoms shall live in harmony. They are all interrupted by the sudden arrival of King Man and Golb. When Golb appears, we see the flashback of Ice King before the Mushroom War. Simon and Betty discuss Golb as described in one of Simon's many books while making ice cream sundaes. Simon states that Golb's presence is felt in every crevice where chaos lurks. On the book, next to Golb, we can see a very mysterious character named Malice. This character has a unique and detailed design. They have a rooster for a head, a shirtless, muscular human body, a shield in one hand and a whip in the other, a Greek warrior dress around his waist, a cape draped over one of his shoulders, serpentine bodies for legs, and canine heads for feet. Below Malice, we can see a snake creating the infinity symbol, and in the middle of each loop appears to be a shape similar to the portal featured below the image. On the bottom of Malice's page is a portal with a white hand coming out of it. The portal appears to be similar to the one which Golb appeared out of in the 9th episode, Come Along With Me. We don't know a lot of things about this character. However, his design resembles a being found in Gnostic texts called Abraxas. Interestingly enough, if we carefully look at the letters around him, we can see the letters A, B, X, and S, which is clearly a reference to this Gnostic deity. In real life, Abraxas is a mysterious figure found in early Gnostic thought, often portrayed as a supreme being who embodies both light and darkness, transcending the usual division between good and evil. In Gnostic cosmology, he was sometimes considered an aeon who ruled over the spiritual and material worlds, containing within himself the dual forces that shape existence. His name holds numerological significance, as its Greek letters add up to 365, symbolizing the days of the year, and suggesting his dominion over the entire cosmos. Ancient depictions of Abraxas show him as a hybrid figure with the head of a rooster, the torso of a man, and serpent legs, a symbolic combination representing vigilance, human authority, and hidden chthonic power. Over time, this enigmatic image made Abraxas a potent symbol of wholeness and a paradox, embodying creation and destruction, the divine and the demonic in a single form. This description fits perfectly to the phone of Prismo's boss, since it has both angelic and demonic wings, which makes sense for the being who embodies the divine and the demonic in a single form. Abraxas being the ruler of heaven is also interesting, since when Scarab gets a call from the boss, we can see the phone being dropped from above, as it looks like the phone came from the heavens. We may also have already seen Malice in his disguised form. The word malice is the scientific name for apple, and the person who is usually associated with apple, besides tree trunks, is a mysterious character named Giuseppe. He is a silent, wrinkly old man. Abracadaniel picks up for a wizard road trip to Big Butt Rock, who receives his name from Ice King. Giuseppe reveals little of himself on the trip, though he is helpful enough to exit the bus to get crab apples for the wizards upon Ice King's request. He winds up being left behind due to his slowness, and Ice King pays tribute to him by reading a spell Giuseppe wrote as part of an exercise with the other wizards. The spell implies that Giuseppe regrets not being able to protect his daughter, in that she passed away before he did, unlike other fathers who lie in the fields who protected their daughters better than he did, and it moves the wizards on the bus musketeers. Later, Giuseppe reappears to save the wizards when their bus is sinking in a swamp using considerable magic power of his own. When asked by Ice King how he did this, he merely provides a wink and a thumbs up before dissolving into a mass of sparkly lights that settle upon the nearby trees. Abracadaniel wonders who Giuseppe is, and Ice King replies that he doesn't know, but that Giuseppe was trying to show the wizards something new. The scene then pulls out to show the sparkly lights on the trees have formed the shape of Giuseppe's head, which winks. Later, it's shown that the wizards on the trip have formed a society whose members wear rings imprinted with the image of the crabapple tree in tribute to their experience with Giuseppe. At first glance, beside Giuseppe collecting apples and Malice meaning apple, these two seem to have nothing in common. However, interestingly enough, in the episode Bespoke For, which is the third episode of the 9th season, we can see that ancient sleeping magi of life-giving has a note by his phone with the name Abraxas on it, accompanied by a phone number and date for Monday 8 p.m. These might not look like much, but we have to take into consideration that ancient sleeping magi of life-giving was one of the wizards who took a road trip with the other wizards, and he as well had witnessed the mysterious nature of Giuseppe. Maybe he continued looking for Giuseppe to learn higher forms of magic, and during his discovery, he found out that Giuseppe in truth was Malice/Abraxas. In recognition to his quest, Malice maybe gave him his number. So the existence of Abraxas in the Adventure Time universe is questionable, and him being depicted next to Golb also makes sense since the entity who holds this much power and authority truly is comparable to Golb, if not even surpassing him. We might have other references to him in the episode The Gift That Reaps Giving, when Life mentions that she can play the CD that Death gave her as a present on her dad's garage, and that she can finally listen to one of Death's mixes. Being the father of literal life fits the theme of Malice perfectly. Also, we know that Prismo's organization consists of cosmic entities such as Cosmic Owl, Party Dog, Orbo, Scarab, and the other cosmic entities found behind Orbo and Scarab in the episode Jerry. And Malice and Abraxas being in charge of them makes perfect sense, since in real-life mythology, he is said to be the source of divine emanations and the ruler of all the 365 heavens and circles of creation. In the end, Prismo's boss remains one of the most enigmatic figures in Adventure Time. He is spoken of in hushed tones by beings who themselves can bend reality, and yet he never fully reveals his face. The scattered clues, his dual-winged phone, his connection to Malice and the Gnostic figure Abraxas, his possible disguise as Giuseppe, paint a picture of a being who embodies both order and chaos, creation and destruction in equal measure. If Golb represents the raw entropy of the multiverse, then Prismo's boss may be its hidden counterbalance, the force that keeps Wishmasters, Scarabs, and Cosmic Judges in line, while still existing on the same level as chaos itself. The parallels with Abraxas suggest that his true role is not simply as Prismo's supervisor, but as a supreme figure who transcends the binary of good and evil, angelic and demonic, law and disorder. Whether he is Malice, Giuseppe, or some yet unseen higher form, his presence hints at a vast, unseen structure of cosmic authority that even the heroes of O can barely comprehend. And perhaps that is the point. Like the best mysteries in Adventure Time, Prismo's boss may never be fully explained, but his shadow ensures that the multiverse feels larger, stranger, and more alive than we can ever truly know.